This is an interview with the cinematographer and director Tiffany Murray about her documentary Backbone, shot on the Panasonic S1H. So I'm here with Tiffany Murray. I've worked with you, Tiffany, for a few projects now, and I've been aware of Backbone, but it's really great to just have a chance to talk with you about the project because the documentary looks gorgeous. And yeah, no, you're welcome. I should mention you are the director DP of this doc. How did that role come to be? Because that's kind of a hard hyphen. Those are both very different jobs.
Yeah, they're definitely very different jobs, and usually I stray away from combining them. I DP and I direct, but I don't like to do both. But for this, it was, we had such a minimal crew and we needed to be, compact and be able to move quickly. And so it just kind of like fell into place.
Well, tell me more about Allison as the central subject of the doc. So what drew you guys together? What's her last name too? So I'm not just calling her Allison
Sure.
in case people want to Google more.
Her name's Allison Powell. She's also a producer, and she produced a couple web series that I shot. So she came to me and she said, I'm going to run 137 miles and I'm going to break some records. Let's shoot it. And I was like, I'm in, tell me when, tell me where to be. I'll be there.
Tell me about the process of filming Backbone, because I think most people might forget that there's also a camera team following her over these 137 miles. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So we had 15 aid stops throughout her run. So she would need to refill her pack, refill water, food, get like a warm meal down a couple times. That's when we would get a lot of her running. And then we had a couple different drone ops come in, and they would film her leaving or coming into each of those aid stations. So aside from that, we also had her or her pacers carry a GoPro so that they could kind of like catch funny moments or narrate what's going on, what's going through their head, or just get B-roll of them running and the beautiful landscapes.
And how much sleep did that leave for you guys?
We didn't really get much sleep at all. Preston, our crew chief and producer, he got probably about 2 hours. About halfway through, we had a nice long break. I tried to sleep, but my mind was just still reeling. So I didn't really get sleep until about hour 44. And that was quite a challenge physically and mentally to keep powering through and really make sure I'm getting quality stuff at, hour 40 some whatever, and can't even think straight. It's hard to stand up, And I say that, but then there's also Allison, who hasn't slept at all, hasn't stopped moving for 130 miles. And, she's coming into aid stations like, okay, here we go, feeling great. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's hard for the crew to complain, huh?
Right, yeah.
When she's
like, oh, I'm so tired, but we have no excuse.
Right, exactly. And why the Panasonic S1H? I mean, there's a lot of mirrorless cameras out there right now. What sort of drew you to that camera platform?
Yeah, well, I had worked on a couple S1H promos leading up to the release of the camera, and I was really impressed with just everything that they could pack into such a small body. And when this project came up, we were talking about like iPhones and GoPros, and I was like, let's wait a second. I think I have an idea. Panasonic was able to get us a couple of S1Hs to fill out our camera package, and it really just made the world of difference. It's lightweight, there's dual ISO, long battery life, and it's not too light. A lot of mirrorless cameras they feel like a toy, and you have to like weight them in order to actually be able to do handheld and make it look good. And with S1H, it's that perfect weight where, I was holding it for 50 hours, in my hands, no support, and was fine. But it still had enough stabilization that it didn't look crazy, shaky all the time.
Tell me about planning out some of these shots, because considering the length of the run and the amount of time, things I think could be in danger of feeling a little similar, you know what I mean? From shot to shot, unless you plan it out.
Right. Yeah, well, so the stylistic slow-mo running stuff we actually filmed post-run. We did that on a black arm Ren and 2 rig with a little bit more of a built-out camera. We had talked about doing it on the run, but the trails that she was running are so, they're so thin. There's hardly room for her to run. She was getting twigs in her shins and, having to jump over bushes and sticks.
Where can people find out more about the doc?
We're putting the finishing touches on it, and Panasonic will release it within the week, I believe.
Tiffany, thank you so much for walking us through some of your process. Obviously, a little bit weird, the situation here, having to shelter in place in California. So thank you for working with the limitations of our online thing we're doing here. I appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
All right, everyone. Stay tuned to cinema5d.com for more coverage. We're going to keep bringing you guys the filmmaking news, all the gadgets and stuff as they come out, despite all of us being stuck at home all over the planet. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.